Hi there. I'm really excited to welcome you today on my presentation about the Stairway to Appium 2.0, where we will speak about the Appium itself, about the new architecture, about the changes, about the reasons why Appium, which leads Appium to the today's version, and also we will speak about the impact of the our automation framework. My name is Alex. I'm working in the squad company as a lead dev. We are working on the testing mobile application for iOS and Android platforms using the Appium. So before we will start, let's speak about a little bit of history, a little about the facts that leads us to today's. So at the beginning of the 90s, where in the whole world there was a little bit less than 3,000 of the websites, the first conversation about the standardization took place, which was called W3C Consortium. In 60 years, one of the facts that have did the most impact of the today's standards was the introducing the Microsoft Explorer browser for the Mac, and Microsoft saw that they need something common approach to have some common approach for as the standard for both browsers, because of basically they have two different browsers, and this was taken back to the W3C consortium, and starting from this, all other vendors was also joined the standardization discussions, and after 13 years, the first commit to the WebDriver WC documentation was presented, and basically it's the first step that the web automation passed until Selenium 4 was released in the previous year. So basically, to get to the today's standards where all the browsers are working the same way, it has been taken a little bit. It has been taken almost 15 years, and but today we're really speak about the standards. But Selenium is not the only WebDriver. Selenium is a suite which contains different libraries, frameworks, and technologies. And the most critical change that was introduced in the new version was the deprecation of the previous JSON wire protocol, and WebDriver was moved fully to the W3C standard. That means that all the vendors, browser vendors, which provides us the drivers for their browsers, they will work in the same way, using the same protocol. And Selenium it has implemented the same on their side. So that means for us that every single action, every single line of code that we'll implement on any language will work in the same way for all the browsers. That's absolutely a cool feature which leads us to the code unification, to the stability, and it will make a huge impact on the future of the automation, web automation. But today we're gonna speak about the Appium, and let's figure out why the Appium plays the same orchestra. So we all know that Appium built on the top of the Selenium. So basically, once Selenium introduced the new changes, which basically breaks the previous behavior of the library set of the suite, Appium team has two ways. First one is continue using the previous approach and like leave as it is, but it doesn't have the like bright feature. And the next one is basically introduce the same changes on their side, and basically they took the right way and started to use the same Selenium versions that are latest. And that means that all the cool features like W3C standard has been also migrated to the Appium. Also, we shouldn't forget about the Selenium grid that is also using frequently on the by the Appium user. It has been changed as well. So another reason why Appium has been moved is also supporting the latest grid. Basically, we talked about the web, but what about automation? Mobile automation, about the desktop automation. So basically, the mobile vendors doesn't have the standards. They are playing in their own playgrounds. So if we're talking about the like Android and iOS, their interfaces for automation are like living their own lives. And for now, the W3C will means that the W3C standard will take place until we're going to use the mobile interfaces, until this line. But why do we need the Appium? Because we have the Android interface, iOS interface. Basically, we can implement our own some kind of framework or libraries. Basically, we even could implement some like fantastic ways for automation using the RoboArm and so on and so on. But what do we want when we speak about automation? We want a stable, efficient way to automate anything with a single code, to spend less resources, to spend less time and money if you're a manager. And it's obviously that using the RoboArm for this case is too fantastic way. Implementing our own libraries will lead us to to some cosmic stuff, efforts, and money. And it's obvious that to automate on the native, we should know the native code language. And basically, Appium provide us it solved all the issues there and provide the solution to build the efficient framework for automation. And let's remember what is the Appium 1.x. It's the current version that everyone is using. So first of all, it's a bundle. So when we are installing the Appium npm-g install Appium, something like this, it goes with all the components inside. They're like to each other. If we're talking about the injection, about the changes in the Appium server code, that means that we need to directly inject something right there manually, or with subscript, but it's manually. Sometimes For example, my project is using some specific changes in the server code, and we have a script which is like pasting the missing code to each of our instances of the Appium, and it's really like I don't know, it's really not so cool that it could be. It's based on the communication is based on the JSON wire protocol. It's not so bad, really. It working fine. It's cool. So it's pretty much it. Touch actions. Everybody knows what this is. So um, it has some problems with for those who need some who is using the automation on the different platforms, screen sizes, I don't know, maybe versions. He knows that touch actions is not so so cool as it could be. And desired capabilities, everyone know that some kind of set of parameters that we are launching our testing with. Not so bad, not so cool. But let's see, what do we have in the new Appium? So basically, the new approach is the first that we see is the drivers decoupling and independence. For me personally, it's the absolutely cool feature because of I don't need all the drivers. I don't need all the maybe I need only a single driver for the specific case, and Appium provided me such possibility. They have implemented the CLI, and I could say that, okay, I want to install only XUI driver, and that's all. And I could specify the version of this driver. I could specify the source of the file, or of this file. So I could pick up it from the Git. I could rework this driver in my specific way, put it to my Artifactory storage, and grab it from there. That's absolutely cool feature. Plugin ecosystem. That's absolutely new. Another cool feature provided by Appium 2.0. Me personally, I personally think that it will be very popular in the nearest future because of people will share their plugins. So plugins is something that could be injected into the Appium server logic and could do some stuff. For example, I want to I don't know, I want to count the amount of clicks, and I could write down my plugin. Plugins also has its own CLI for installing and so on and so on. And for example, I could write the code which will be injected safely to the Appium server, and I will receive the data that I need. For example, amount of count, the count of the clicks. Cool, I think so. And now we are speaking about W3C. So this is the standard which is also implemented on the Appium side. Is really like it's one of the major steps to the big future of the whole automation, mobile and native, in desktop. I'm sorry. It's the only way to become to something like super stable, super standard. It should be based on some standard. So implementation W3C, it's the first like step to this. Driver specific option classes. I personally, when I saw it, I was really excited to implement it in my code, in my framework. It's really cool stuff because of every single options is the same capabilities, but based on the driver that you are building it for. It really looks fabulous comparing to the capabilities. It really looks simple, structured. Okay, so options, it's the really cool stuff. and WCT reactions. That's my favorite. That's my favorite change because of touches, gestures, and so on and so on. It's not that I want to use my code. Appium do the right way. They don't gives you the like. They don't gives you a fish. They are trying to teach you how to like fish, how to get how to fishing. And WCT reactions is the right way for the stable and flexible automation. If we speak about the changes, so I have read the article from the Appium developers, and they said that it's not only changes in the code. Basically, the 2.0 means the change in the philosophy. So instead of being the like tool and library for the framework for automation, they became the platform to spawn new automation devices type, to spawn new automation testing types. So I think that's really cool stuff, but let's discuss this. For example, nowadays we have a lot of smart devices, even microwaves are smart, and another stuff. So for example, we have the smart microwave with some user interface with buttons, etc. And I know about the Appium. Do I need this Appium to implement the automation? Let's see. So what do I need? I need the one HTTP server on the client and one HTTP server on the microwave side. I need to implement a few commands on the microwave side, like click some button, get some status, and so on and so on, and implement the same API on the client side. And basically that's all. So do I need them? And basically it will work. So do I need the Appium in this case? I think we could manage it by your own, and Appium will like too complex solution for such testing. But they said that they're the platform for spawning new devices. Yep. So let's imagine a different situation where, for example, my goal is to test the smartwatches from the new platform. What should I need to do? For example, let's like add more details to this requirement. For example, I'm planning to run the thousands of test cases. Okay. To do this in the optimal way, I will need to have the 100 devices to run in parallel. And okay, so let's do the same. Yeah, implement the HTTP server on the client side, on the watches side. But watches have like dozens of views. They have hundreds of elements. So the simple approach to hard code each like API call for each element, it's not so good decision because of usage changes and so on and so on and so on. And then it's a first problem. The second problem is the run all this stuff in parallel. For those who are familiar with the running test cases in parallel way, they know that sometimes it's a little bit complex question, and I need some mechanism, some logic that will manage the stations, manage the state of the device, state of the client, and so on and so on. And thinking about all this right now, I think that Appium is pretty good solution to start because of they have W3C standard that means that it handle all the common stuff like opening the sessions, managing the sessions, Error handling, yeah, we shouldn't forget about the error handling. Some like actions, because of basically if we like look at all the devices, we have all the same actions like tap, like swipe, and so on and so on and so on. It doesn't depends on the device type itself. So looking from this side, I think that Appium provides us the good basis to start with like, building the big project, the big framework. So the only thing that I need is to provide like something like page source, which will be work with the Appium, which will be compatible with Appium. On the device side, yeah, I will need to create some driver instance and some HTTP server on this watch, okay, or something that will be receive and respond with that. And looking from this side, it's pretty much right. So Appium is really the platform, because of I personally think that Appium provides a pretty good instrument toolbox for automation, different automation, or starting from microwave, ending with the, I don't know, some GPS with the touchscreen. But we're still talking about mobile, mostly on mobile. And what choice do we have in this case? So, of course, we know a lot of companies that provide us the from-the-box solution for mobile automation, and some of solutions are pretty much cool. If you don't need anything specific, I'm talking about if you need like simple, like usual mobile automation, function automation. Most of the tool on the market could suit your need, and you don't need the like specific Appium version on your laptop. But sometimes we need to automate the complex solution, which requires different libraries, different tool set. If we speak about the distributed system and complex and E2E scenarios, we can't use the like solutions, complete solutions, and we need to implement by our own. And in this case, I think the Appium is the only choice that we basically have in this case. A little slide about the does it worth the effort? I mean the new Appium. So basically, I have never looked at the folder of the full content of the folder of the Appium, but I wondering how many drivers does it contain? And basically, this bundle structure contains 14 drivers, and it was really funny for me because of I didn't know how many of them are going with each version or on each machine. And I have had the situation when I was waiting for the fix for iOS driver. It was fixed on the Appium side. Everything goes okay, but in order to apply this fix on my side, I have waited for some time just for the new Appium bundle release. Besides, it's few days. It's okay. We can wait, even week or even more. But we shouldn't forget about the possible regression. For example, I, as the automation owner, I don't want to like grow risks in any area of my automation. And if I'm waiting for a little commit to the specific driver, I don't want anything else. But in current reality, with the new version, you could receive a lot of stuff that could possibly break something or possibly require to implement something according to the changes. So absolutely, so the new decoupled solution is absolutely worth the changes, and only if Appium was introduced this single change, it's already worth the effort. Another funny thing, while I was looking into the files, basically all the 14 drivers together is about 40 megabytes on the disk. But this guy, which is Tizen driver, is a single driver, it's taking the half of the common size. 15 meters is not something like that we could compare to the Chrome cookies or caches, but I really want to, if I will meet the person in future who is automating using Tizen driver, I just want to ask how many such people in the world, because I have never met someone who is automating the Tizen driver. But it's a little funny fact that basically each of our machines has this 15 megabytes of the Tizen driver, and such machines could be like 100,000, and it's a really funny fact. Okay, so I remember the day where I have started to evaluate the possible migration of our huge project to the Appium 2.0. I have read a few articles, and really I was a little bit scared about the volume of these changes. It was really hard to me to predict the impact. It was really hard to me understand how many efforts will be needed to apply these changes. But it's not so bad, really. And I will share some major detail that you will need to apply in the project, and then we will be able to predict somehow how many efforts you will need to migrate your project. So the most important stuff it's the objects and classes that have been removed. Find by was moved to find elements. It's easy stuff which will require just manually change all the stuff. Mobile specific elements was removed. You should use the remote element instead. This is absolutely easy change that could be done by the replace all in the project, and no other impact as far as I see for now. You can face some issues if you are using the session details. I know someone is using, but any other changes like set value or driver inherited change shouldn't impact your whole project itself. So not so bad for now. Another changes that Appium team recommended to use right now, and I think that it's the good way. The elements lookup was changed from mobile by to Appium by. Not so critical, but I have already implemented in my project. No issues so far. Actions with the applications was moved to the interact with class interface. Basically, it's working as before. I mean, the new approach. I think it's a good way to like put all the functionalities for its shelves, so everyone will know which exactly method or class or interface he should use. And my favorite is that touch actions. Touch actions and multi-touch actions will be removed soon in the coming Appium version, in the future, I mean, and we should use the WC3 action instead. It's my favorite because of I really have a big experience using the touches in my framework, and it's really headache for a years. Yeah, it's not a daily basis headache, but when you're starting, I remember in my experience, we have started working with the touch actions and multi-touch actions. Something works on iOS, something works on Android in a different way. You're finding the workaround which leads you to spend time. Then you possibly like it's working for some time, and then the new device introducing, for example, some tablet instead of mobile phone, and you should do the workaround again, and then you possibly could face the bug. You will report the bug. On the Appium side, they said, "Oh, bro, use the gestures." You said, "Okay, gestures, such cool thing." You are starting to implement the new gestures, deprecating the touches in your project, moving to the gestures, and you're facing almost the same. Something works on Android, something works on iOS in a different way, and you're going to this for this circle again and again, like in the Groundhog Day. And basically, the main reason here is that all these interfaces are like black boxes for the client, for me, and I want to, and the new way by providing the W3C actions, that first of all it's the simplest like bricks that I could build anything with them. So I could build any action, I could build any specific stuff that I need. It will be fully maintainable. It will be fully predictable, and I think that it's really cool that someone gives you the tools, not the complete solution. It provided the tools, and you can use it base it on your experience, base it on your like needs. You can build anything basically, and also W3C means that it's standardized. It's standard. So we could be sure that it will work on any platform and even in any browser. So it's another cool feature that's unified. So absolutely cool change that I'm waiting for starting working with WC3 action implementation in my framework. So I want to show you a little demo with the migration from the old Appium to the new Appium, including the server. So I have prepared a simple project which basically works on Android and iOS. It's implement the page object model pattern, so it should be standard way to organize the test. And to do not spend time with this migration, I would like to show you the changelog. I have also pushed it to the open Git repo, so you'll be able to compare to see the changes by your own. So everything starts from, let me close all the stuff. So basically everything started from I will show it on the example of the Java project, but all the same stuff has been also introduced on the other languages. So basically, I should use the new libraries. Then let's go to the driver. So as usual, you can see that it's the usual way how we are creating the instance of the driver, how to create the capabilities, and this is our simple, usual capabilities builder. And on the right side, we see how it looks like with the new approach, with the options. So for each type of the driver, we have their each specific options. Look how beautiful and how mature it looks like. So comparing to this, it's the it's a clear and beautiful chain of the parameters that I need to work with. It's really cool because of I can't use not platform specific methods here. So I could be 100% sure that every single action is related to this specific platform. Instead of using the capabilities, yeah, Appium server is smart. He knows which exactly capabilities are working with the which exactly platform, but it's not so cool to just copy something, paste, or use without without knowledge if this required some platform specific stuff. So I think it's really beautiful and cool way. And then one of the major things is that we should specify the base path for our service, Appium server. So before, it's the usual way how we are starting the server programmably. And now we should add the argument which will show the path for our WebDriver hub. That's pretty much it. Simple, yeah. Basically, you can still using the capabilities because they're just deprecated, not removed. But I think this approach is pretty much better. Okay, let's go to the elements finder. I have commented all the lines below because of basically changes are pretty much the same. So before we had the next, so for the platform specific, we call the find element by some strategy. Okay, and now, and we had such actions for a UA automator, etc., etc., etc. Now the approach is the next. So we are using the find element, the common WebDriver method, and we're just passing the strategy from the Appium by class. So we are specifying the strategy right here and using the common method. No issues so far with these new changes, but it's easy to migrate to the new approach. Okay, let's go next. Interactions with the application. It's also deprecated, not removed, but what we should do in order to move to the new strategy. So interactions with the application, it's the interface, it's the Appium interface, which contains anything that you need to do with the application. So basically, in order to move your actions to the new approach, you need to create the instance of the class and call all the same methods from this instance. That's all. As you can see, no changes in the code. Only specifying the driver instance we need to call the specific actions from. Easy, right? Yeah, I think so. Touches class. I have example of some touch actions right here. It's deprecated, not removed, so I just changed the element type right here, and that's all. All other actions are working as usual, and I have reported the Jira task to implement the additional W3C actions. And let's go to the view classes. So basically, all the changes that have been here is just changing the mobile element to the remote web element. I have made it really with the replace all functionality in the IntelliJ IDEA, and it works fine. Just don't forget to change the imports as well. And it's pretty much same approach for any project. And that's all. And this is pretty much that's all. So as you can see, no changes in the test class, no changes in the steps class, in my case, of course, but I think it will be same in your. No changes in, no like critical changes in the code itself. Also, do not forget to, like, you will need to remove the previous Appium version and install the new version and install the drivers that you will need for the test. And that's all. Your project will be migrated to the new Appium version. I have spent about an hour and a half, I think, in such like regular way, without the hurry up, to move this project and test the application on the iOS and Android. So it's time with the reading the documentation, how to move, and so on and so on. And basically, I would say that we have the huge project. It's like sample project only for this demo. We have a few projects with the 100 and 1,000 of files and classes. I have spent 4 days to move the project, just making all the changes in my project, and to start the first test with the Appium 2.0. That's pretty much fast, I think. But don't forget that the testing itself will take the five times more. And we have spent about 3 weeks to test it, maybe more. And then small fixes in the like unpredictable places. So if you have the project, so if you have basically a project that will live at least half of year and you're planning to automate something, you already need to plan this migration. To do this in the comfortable way, with the proper planning, with the proper testing, without the without the issues and without the downtime. It's pretty cool to start using all this approach, because I'm really waiting for the amount of people who will use this approach, who will like create new plugins, new drivers, and I don't know, new ideas. The amount of such people will grow. I'm really waiting for this time, because I really like to read something new, to use something new, and like listen for other people that sharing their experience with the uh, internet. And another like question that we have today, still have today, that we have talked about the standards in web, and I said that standard, I mean W3C, it's also migrated to the Appium, but also I said that mobile vendors don't have any like any negotiation about the moving the interfaces to the standard way, or maybe I don't know them, but that means basically that Appium team is the guards of the standards for mobile and desktop application automation. And basically, I really hope that they will keep this like way of the standardization in the future, because of basically every single developer in the Appium should know that he should fix, he should implement according to the standard, according to the some logic on the other platform, and so on and so on. And I really hope that they will continue to like grow this idea. And maybe we're now speaking about the first step, like it was in the early 90s. We're speaking about the first step in the standardization of the mobile and like desktop automation, and maybe more. And maybe in the 15 years we will like remember, recall to these years, and we'll like speak about the how the automation was working without the standards, how these people is living without the standards. So I would say that it's really important to like use something new to work with on the edge of the technologies and features. And I personally really was really excited to read more about this, and I'm really excited to share it now with you. But I have also gathered some useful links for those who will plan migration. There are also a few useful links about the Selenium and Appium itself, I mean the new generation. And here is the link to the demo framework, so you will be able to like see what changes took places and refer to this project if you will like face any issues. Thank you all for joining today. It was really pleasure to speak today for you, and have a nice day. Bye bye.